Hello everyone. In the last lecture, we have seen the sampling rate conversion technique, that is decimation. In today's class, we are going to continue the decimation with respect to an example. Okay? Decimation example. This decimation example consists of the x of n sequence and w of n sequence, and finally the output sequence y of n. In this example, we are having x of n with a sequence of samples, and this w of n is obtained after passing through the x of n sequence through a digital low pass filter. If you recall the block diagram of the decimation, first before going to downsample, prior to downsample, here we are going to pass the x of n sequence through a digital low pass filter. Why we are going to pass the sequence through a digital low pass filter? The purpose is to filter out the high frequency component and to maintain the proper sampling rate conditions. After passing through this signal x of n through a low pass filter, we are getting the low pass filtered output sequence in the form of w of n. Then after passing through the LPF, now we are supposed to perform down sampling. Here the decimation factor m is given by m is equal to 2. For m is equal to 2, we have to drop m minus 1 samples. M minus 1 samples, that means 2 minus 1, we have to drop 1 samples. Alternative samples has to be dropped. Then we get 2, we are dropping 2.1, considering next sequence 2, dropping 3.9, then considering 1.5, and so on. This is the output sequence y of n after down sampling. In this form, we are going to get the output for decimation. After decimation, next type of sampling rate conversion technique is interpolation. In decimation, we are interested in reducing the sampling rate. In case of interpolation, we are interested in increasing the sampling rate or upsampling without violating the Nyquist rate. Let me draw the block diagram for the interpolation. X of n sequence is first passed through a block for upsampling. Then it is passed through a digital low pass filter to get the output y of n. In case of decimation, prior to downsampling, we are using digital low pass filter, but in this case, first we are performing upsampling and then we are passing the sequence of upsampling to the digital low pass filter. Reason is, in this case, here we are going to insert the zeros, inserting zeros. To get the w of n sequence, that is zero stuffed sequence. After getting the w of n sequence, that is zero stuff sequence, then we have to pass through a digital low pass filter to get the output y of n. Here we are having f of s, fs, that is sampling frequency, L into fs, here also L into fs. L is the interpolation factor. This interpolation factor L is equal to L minus 1. L minus 1 zeros is to be inserted between each sample. In order to understand this concept, let us try to work out an example. Before we solve the problem, let us try to know the output equation for the interpolation. The interpolation output equation is given by y of n is equal to summation k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity bk into w of n minus k. This is the output equation for computing interpolation. Now let us consider the example. X of n is given by 3, 2, minus 2, 0, 7, and the filter coefficient Bk is given by 0.5, 1, 0.5, and interpolation factor L is equal to 2, and we have to find out y of n. Y of n is equal to question mark. These are the parameters given: the input sequence x of n, filter coefficient Bk, and interpolation factor L. L is equal to 2. We know that we have to insert L minus 1 zeros, we have to insert 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1 zeros between each sample. To find out the y of n, we have the formula. Now let us proceed to solve the problem. Using this equation, I can write y of n is equal to summation. I know that we have 3 filter coefficients, 0.5, 1, 0.5. The k varies from k is equal to 0, 1, 2. With this I can write k is equal to 0 to 2 and bk to w of n minus k. In the next step, let us expand the equation to get y of n is equal to b 0 into w of n minus 0 plus b1 w of n minus 1 plus b2 to w of n minus 2. Now the expansion is ready. Before that, now let us find out the w of n sequence. The w of n sequence, now let us find the w of n sequence. The w of n sequence is obtained by inserting zeros. How many zeros? L minus 1 zeros between each sample. If that is the case, I can write 3. After first sample, I have to insert 0. Next, I have to consider the next sample. Before going to next sample, that is minus 2, insert 0. Then go to next sample. Then before going to 0, insert 0. Then take next value, that is 0. Before going to the next sample 7, insert 0 and then finally write 7. This is the w of n sequence. Here n is taking value from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 8. Totally 9 values are there, index starting from 0 to 8. Now we have to substitute the value of these samples from 0 to 8 in this equation to get the filtered output sequence, in order to get the interpolated output sequence y of n. First, for n, I have to substitute 0, and that is equal to b naught into w of n is 0, 0 minus 0, 0 plus b1 into w of n is equal to 0, 0 minus 1, minus 1 plus B2 into W of 0 minus 2, that is minus 2. After obtaining the equation, next we have to proceed for substituting the filter coefficient, that is B0, B1 and B2, which is Bk is equal to 0.5, 1, 0.5. This is B0, this is B1 and this is B2. Now we have to substitute the respective values of B0, B1 and B2 in this equation. If I do so, I can write B0 is 0.5, W of 0 plus B1 is 1, W of minus 1 plus B2 is once again 0.5, W of minus 2. What this W of 0 corresponds to? W of 0 corresponds to the value 3. 0.5 into 3 plus 1 into W of minus 1. We don't have any negative value coefficients with respect to the n. We have only positive value. So, this minus 1 and minus 2 goes to 0. These two parts will become 0. So, what we are left out? We are left out with 0.5 into 3, that is given by 1.5. This is y of 0. Similarly, we have to find out for y of 1, y of 2, y of 3 up to y of 8. Next, let us solve for y of 1. Y of 1. That means I have substituted n is equal to 1 here. With that, I can write B0 into W of n is equal to 1. 1 minus 0, that is 1 plus B1 into W of 1 minus 1, that is 0 plus B2 into W of 1 minus 2, that is equal to minus 1. This minus 1 goes to 0 and B0 is having a value of 0.5. W of 1 is 0. B1 1, W of 0 is 3 plus 0. Here it is 0 plus 3. The y of 1 is taking a value of 3. Like this, you have to compute for the rest of the values, that is from y of 2 to y of 8. Then we are going to get the output sequence y of n. Okay. After studying the two types of sampling rate conversion techniques, that is decimation and interpolation, now let us see what happens if we violate the sampling theorem with the help of a waveform. As I said before, if we don't follow the sampling theorem condition, then these are the two effects we are going to get. This is the effect we are going to get in the case of decimation, and this is the effect we are going to see in case of interpolation. You can see if we don't follow the sampling theorem condition while performing decimation, we see the effect of aliasing. And if you don't follow the sampling theorem condition in case of interpolation, then we see the unwanted spectral images. Unwanted spectral images. This is the aliasing effect. So, in order to nullify these two effects, we have to follow the proper sampling theorem condition. This is due to oversampling and this is due to undersampling. Hello. After knowing the sampling rate conversion techniques, that is decimation and interpolation, now let us move on to the next concept, that is computational accuracy in DSP implementation. How the accuracy is maintained while computing the values. For this case, we have to understand the concept of number formats used for signals and coefficients. In order to maintain the accuracy, you have to first concentrate on the number formats used for signals and coefficients. In general, the signals and coefficients will be represented in terms of numbers. Numbers either in integer form or in fractional form. Which format is used to represent the numbers? For the integer and fractional, we are going to consider two types of formats. The first one is fixed point format. Fixed point format. Why the name fixed point? It uses the fixed number of bits. It uses fixed number of bits to represent the number. Either it can be signal value or coefficient value. The number of bits required to represent a number is fixed. For example, if you are following 8-bit representation, you have to represent the same value within 8 bits only. If you are using 16-bit representation, you have to represent the same value with 16 bits only. That means here the number of bits is fixed. Within that number of bits only, you have to represent the value either in integer form or fractional form. Now let us see how a signed integer value is represented using fixed point format with respect to an n-bit fixed point format for a signed integer. This is the representation of a signed integer fixed point format. Here we have taken an example for n bit. N bit. That means that n can take a value of 8, 16, 32, etc. Here for integer, this is the implied binary point. Implied binary point. If you try to express any value, the specific value in this format, then the value x can be written as x is equal to minus s into 2 power n minus 1 plus b n minus 2 into 2 power n minus 2 plus b n minus 3 into 2 power n minus 3 and so on. I will write in the next row. It may continue up to b2 into 2 power 2 plus b1 into 2 power 1 plus b0 into 2 power 0. In this fashion, we can specify the value of x for signed integer fixed point representation. In this case, the MSB is reserved for sign in order to represent the value of the sign of a integer. If s is equal to 0, then it indicates positive number. If s is equal to 1, it indicates negative number. Next is we need to know the range of signed integers that can be represented in this format. The range is, we can represent minus 2 power n minus 1 to plus 2 power n minus 1 minus 1. This is the range of numbers that can be represented using signed integer fixed point format. Next part is signed fractional part. Similarly, the same can be illustrated for the purpose of representing signed fractional part. The value of x can be written for a signed fractional number as x is equal to minus s into 2 power 0 plus b minus 1 into 2 power minus 1 plus b minus 2 into 2 power minus 2 plus I can write b minus of n minus 2 into 2 power minus n minus 2 plus b minus n minus 1 into 2 power minus n minus 1. This is the value of x for the case of fractional numbers. In multiplication, if you increase the value of integer, then what happens? That affects on the number of bits required. If the integer value increases. Then we require double precision format, we require the double of the memory. So, what happens if you try to represent the numbers in terms of integers, we need to enhance the size of the bits. That means if you are working with 8 bit, you have to double the size to 16 bits and so on. If you increase the number of bits, then that affects on the memory requirement. So, in order to overcome this, we are going to, and also this integer value will give a wraparound condition. wraparound condition arises when we see larger values of integers, when we take larger values of integers. This wraparound condition affects the most negative number after the most positive number and vice versa. In order to tackle this condition, this wraparound condition, it is better to use the fractional format. Fractional format rather than using integer format. One may ask a question, why we are switching from integer to fractional? The primary answer is, if you take any two fractional numbers, if you multiply, the result is still a fractional number. With this, we can represent the output fractional number with the same number of bits which was represented originally in the form of input. Here, while representing the fractional format with respect to the fixed point number, what happens is we are using the same number of bits. Same number of bits is utilized, but with respect to the accuracy, if the fractional number is large, then we have to perform one operation, that is, we have to discard the least significant bits. In some cases, the result will be within the fixed number value only. In some cases, if the fractional number grows to a larger value, then we have to discard the least significant bits. Then one may ask a further question that if you discard the LSB values, then what about the accuracy? The accuracy will be lost not to a greater extent, to a lesser extent. In order to understand this concept, I will give an example. We all know that the value of pi is equal to 22 by 7. This value is equal to 3.1428 and so on. Here, in general, we know that pi is equal to 3.14. 3.14 is sufficient. It is much enough to substitute the value of pi to get the result. If we consider only this much of the value and the next fractional values can be neglected, since these values will be in LSB or in least significant bit area. We are not discarding the higher order bits, only the lower order bits are discarded. Thereby, the accuracy is still maintained. In this way, we are going to maintain the accuracy. Now, let us find the range of numbers that can be represented in case of integer and fractional part for the value n is equal to 4. If n is equal to 4, then for integer part, we have the range given by minus 2 power n minus 1 to plus 2 power n minus 1 minus 1. Here n is equal to 4, I can write minus 2 power 4 minus 1 to plus 4 minus 1 minus 1. That means minus 2 to the power 3 to plus 2 to the power 3 minus 1. That means minus 2 to the power 3 is equal to minus 8 to 8 minus 1 7 plus 7. This is the range of numbers that can be represented using integer part. Here one may ask a question. We know that 2 power 4 is equal to 16, but we are getting minus 8 to 7. The answer is minus 8 minus 7 up to minus 1, from 0 to 7. Here to here we are having 8 values, from here to here we are having 8 values. 8 plus 8, 16. Now let us see for the case of fractional numbers with n is equal to 4. Range of numbers that can be represented in case of fractional. We know that the range is -1 to plus 1 minus 2 power minus n minus 1. This is the condition. Thereby you can get, if I substitute 4 minus 1, that is 3, that is -1 to plus 0.875. This is the range of numbers for fractional numbers. Thank you.